these are some of the pieces, and I'm going to show you a whole one. We changed the height of the countertop from 1.5 to 1 1/8.
Get started today at dailyharvest.com.
So here we are. We're putting a 3/4 wide by 3/8 deep groove in our plywood for our cabinet. Now we have a table saw, but it's more like a site table saw, and the arbor on it is not big enough to accept a 3/4 inch thick dado stack, or we would probably be running these differently. So once all these are complete, cut what needs to be left and bring it all over the table. Start assembly.
We have our bottom piece, back, 2 sides, and spreader. The face frames go on at the end. These are shitty chisels. So I guess it's all about the edge that you keep on, right? So like, let me show you. See all these little crumbs down that track, all those little crumbs? That will f you up. It might not be much, but it's enough to screw something else up somewhere, and then you rack your cabinet, or you try to square your cabinet, and it's wrong because there's a crumb sticking. My point, get all the shit off. I'm really working on trying to not swear and be a better person. We're from New England, man, I don't know. Do not be afraid to use glue. Not so much, you don't want it going absolutely insane, but after the nails rust, the glue will hold.
This is a fact. When you start disassembling old things that have been outside and you realize that the nails rust and the only thing holding it together is the glue, it changes the way you apply glue to your products, that's for sure.
Stop it. Okay.
This cabinet is built a little bit backwards, but the reasoning we did that was the walls in the kitchen it's going to be installed in are not the straightest ever. Actually, the previous kitchen, I'm sure I can find a picture, was brick, painted white. Brick lowers, painted white, tile countertop. Yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. But we're redoing it for them, and it's going to look beautiful.
I did this backwards from the first time.
Do your best to spread this apart. Like when you put this piece in, do your best to spread the things apart so it doesn't push the glue all the way to the bottom. Then you just end up with puddles of glue in the corners. So even distribution. Even distribution. And get that in there. Now once these go in, face frame, or you know, close to the face frame, holds all our fronts straight. So we know we'll get a nice layover when we put our face frames on. Some people dado out the backs of their face frames and put it on. We use pocket screws. A lot easier, works great. This isn't the kitchen for the crazy over-the-top stuff, but projects are coming.
Alright,
I have a combination square that I set up just to do the exterior. You know, just draw my line so I can get the screws in super quick, way quicker than a frame square.
So, gotta get that top off a little bit.
Only thing I do not like about overalls is I don't have a hammer pocket anymore. I don't have a hammer loop because I used to put my hammer loop on my belt. So I have to get used to holding all my tools a little bit differently. And, you know, you can wear a tool belt, but it's not really the place, especially in a shop. Doing finished work and wearing a tool belt's tough because it swings, it bangs into things, it scratches things. You don't even know you're doing it. You don't mean to do it, it just happens sometimes when you're moving stuff.
5 in 1, 10 in 1, 15 in 1.
If you don't get all the glue off the cabinets and you let it dry, then the stain doesn't, or the poly doesn't stick to it. It doesn't get behind the glue.
That's the difference between getting, you know, normal cabinets from some whoever and then getting custom cabinets from somebody who gives a shit. Big difference. Because I could let this slide. I could let that slide easy. No big deal. But we ain't gonna do that.
So you wipe it when you're wet, when it's all wet. Get it out of the corners. Make sure you get it all, because it'll look different. And the same thing. One thing I didn't really go over is sanding. Now, I called the distributor and asked what the plywood was sanded to because the veneer is pretty small and we can't. The less work on the veneer, the better. So if it's sanded to 120, we'll start at 150. That way you're not burning through the whole thing because that's the last thing you want when a cabinet's done. You sand with the grain. You must sand with the grain. If not, you're going to see it and it's going to look like crap. I think I'm going to break down a video on that a little bit better and sanding blocks and how to get that all taken care of soon. But for now, this is it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Good.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that.